Everyone, me Kevin here. So y'all know by now I'm running for governor of California, and I know I'm not dressed up like that right now, but I'm kind of bummed because I wanted to respond to something that the LA Times said, and it's really frustrating because here's the thing. This sounds so like silly. I really believed that reporters, when they would write a story, would at least try to go out of their way to make sure what they're saying is true. And I'm really disappointed because the LA Times just did a solid bash. Small bash, but it's a solid bash, and it's totally untrue. And I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Am I losing my mind? So here's the context. I went to Echo Park this weekend. Oh, actually, yeah, this week, a few days ago. And we basically went to the reopening of this park where 200-ish homeless individuals were essentially evicted by the police. And we went there to the reopening, the opening of the fences and that. And we talked to homeless advocates about homelessness. Here's a gentleman who had an active discussion with me. This is a public YouTube video. You can see these discussions. And we're talking about problems with homelessness and how this person was homeless. Now he's trying to get ahead and the difficulties of getting ahead. I talked to the chief of police of LAPD, spoke with the, this is a captain of LAPD. I spoke with the chief of Parks and Recs of Los Angeles County about homelessness, spoke to folks who were initially skeptical about my plan, but later were more interested in what I had to say. Spoke again to advocates or other people who were interested in learning more about the plan, or again, more advocates to understand, hey, how can folks who are homeless, this lady right here, she is still homeless, I talked to her, how can folks who are going through homelessness be helped? So I spoke to all sides, whether they were officers or they were ranking officers, homeless advocates, homeless people, it didn't matter. And that's apparently not how the LA Times saw it. So this is the LA Times piece right here. Echo Park Lake reopens, new grass, new paint, and no tents, blah, 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 does a story. LA Times, kind of a important newspaper for Los Angeles and California. People throughout California read the LA Times, just like somebody in LA might read the SAC-B or the SF Times. But folks, this is just, I don't know. It's to me, like, I never want to bag on anyone because, like, I want to see the best. Like, maybe Benjamin just didn't know. Maybe Benjamin just caught a glimpse and didn't care or didn't have time to learn more. I don't know what it is. But look, when you type in my last name, Paffrath, okay, look at this. Several of the homeless participants spoke about the challenges of living in hotels and the rules that governed when they could come and go and limited whom they could interact with. This is true, but there were also many homeless people talking about getting evicted from the space, having their stuff thrown away, or not even being placed into a home. So there's a lot more here. But then the author goes on to say, their speeches were initially interrupted by Kevin Paffrath, a recall candidate for governor, who wandered through the park with a posse who filmed him. That's it. Really. We spent 3.5 hours at the park talking to homeless advocates, to police officers. I mean, you see, this is a 53-minute video, and we were there 3 times as long as this clip. It's unbelievable to think that, and watch our interviews, that'll give you much more context, but it's unbelievable to think that this is considered wandering through the park, interrupting people, being followed around, or following people around, interrupting them with a posse who's what is that? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just very frustrating. I sent him a message too. I go, rough hit piece and untrue. I sent him a message on Twitter. I mean, like, look, I think Benjamin's probably a really nice dude. I don't know, but he didn't come up to me. So obviously he knew who I was, could have easily, like, I would have gladly talked to him. In fact, there was somebody from NPR who specifically pulled me aside, like, hey, right here on the spot, give me 5 minutes, let's do an interview. No problem. here's an interview. Multiple people gave me their business cards. We scheduled interviews. I'm working on scheduling. I've got the cell phone number to the chief of Parks and Recs, and we're working on scheduling a ride along so we can actually explore homelessness from the point of view of law enforcement. And then we've got activist numbers so we can explore homelessness from the point of view of activists so we could see both sides. And seriously, that's the mention we get in the LA Times? Come on, man. Like, this is why things get misconstrued in the media. And at the very least, like, add some clarity to the article, because it doesn't look good on the LA Times. It's not even close to accurate, which is very disappointing. I don't know. I'm disappointed. That's all I can say. And again, maybe it was just a mistake. I don't know that. Maybe they didn't know. Who knows? Maybe it was a secondhand report. Maybe they're in an office writing the report and somebody sent them a picture and a tip or something. And maybe it was a game of phone tag or something. I don't know. It's just really sad. That's it. Anyway, thanks everyone. We'll see you in the next one.